What's up everyone? Today I'm back with a brand new video, and this time I'm doing another tag. This one is going to be the scariest thing tag. Basically it's just telling some scary things that you've experienced in your life. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Okay, number one is scariest real life experience. Now, I really haven't had my own scariest real life experience, but I remember, it's actually a funny story, I remember when I lived in Kentucky, my dad was in the army by the way, when I lived in Kentucky, we went to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which is not too far from Kentucky, to Dollywood, and I believe they had some sort of other attraction there. I'm not too sure if it was in Dollywood or if it was just a little outside of Dollywood. Anyways, it was kind of like Ripley's Believe It or Not, that scary kind of museum that you go into. Well, this one was so terrifying. It was ridiculous. Like, literally, they had us running and we were being chased by these men in costumes and like scar faces. And it was just ridiculous. And I just remember almost dying because I have asthma, and I straight up tell this dude, like, you are doing a great job, but can you please just slow down? I need to take my inhaler. And literally he busts out laughing. Like, this is no joke. My family starts laughing, this guy starts laughing, and it's like, this is a serious matter, you almost killed me, sir. Anyways, I'm like, because you gotta count to like 15 when you take that little puffer, and it's like he was literally legit trying to kill me. Okay, number two, scariest paranormal experience. Well, I have not had a scariest paranormal experience. I know my brother sees ghosts a lot. I mean, I really haven't. Pass. Sorry about it. Have you ever known anyone convicted of a violent crime? No, thank goodness. Pass. Does your hometown have any scary stories or legends? Yeah, it do. Okay, so I live in San Antonio, Texas right now, and it is my hometown as well. So there is a kind of, I guess it's a myth, or I don't know what you would call it really, but okay, so there is a haunted railroad track here in San Antonio, Texas, where legend has it there were kids in a bus on their way to an away game, high school kids, on their way to an away game, I believe it was, and their bus crashes in with the train because they get stuck on the tracks somehow. And what happens is they are all haunting the tracks now, and you know, they're abandoned tracks now, nobody uses them, but it's an attraction for people to go into, especially during Halloween time. Now, if you go onto the railroad tracks, like if you literally park on top of these tracks and you put your car on neutral, then go outside of your car and put baby powder on the outside of your car, then get back in your car will literally start moving as if the kids are pushing you. I'm not even joking, I've done this before. And then when you go back out, you park your car, of course. Don't leave your car up in neutral while it's going. Park your car, go outside of the car, go to the back, and you will see handprints. Handprints. I'm not even kidding you. And it is the scariest thing, but it's not true. It's just a myth. It's really, I think they said it was just gravity or something when you put your car on neutral and it takes off by itself. Something like that. Don't ask me, YOLO, I really don't know. But that's the myth in San Antonio. Everybody still goes, even tourists go every now and then when they hear the stories, and it's just a bunch of fun, and it's scary because it's in the middle of freaking nowhere. So there you have it. Number 6, what is your favorite urban legend? Well, my favorite urban legend would have to be the tale of La Llorona. Now, this tale is a Mexican folk tale / urban legend, whatever you'd like to call it. Now, this one, apparently in Mexico, there's this woman, right, who has her kids with her. She just got divorced. I'm sorry if I'm not telling the story completely right, but I'm just kind of trying to do it from my recollections. Now, she just left her husband, and she's crossing a river with her 2 children, and the children gets swept away by the river. I mean, the waves are just going. It's a dark, stormy night. It's raining really hard. And the kids get swept away from her. She's trying to get them as best as she can. And she herself dies in the process. Now, she was crying and crying, bawling. That's what llorona means. It means cry girl, I guess. A girl who cries is llorona in Spanish. I don't really know Spanish, so that's just what they tell me. So yes, so apparently if you go to this river, I'm not too sure where it is, but if I find it, I will link it down below, in Mexico. If you go to this river, you could actually hear her crying and looking for her children. Now, there are variations of this folktale, as there are with many folktales, but they actually say that the Llorona, she will go and take kids that look like her kids and drown them in the river just for payback. Kind of like, you know, this happened to my kid, so it's going to happen to yours. Now, it's ridiculous, I know, but it's a fairy tale. Sorry, not a fairy tale. It's a folk tale, an urban legend. It's just really scary, and it's one of my favorites because depending on who tells the story, everybody adds in a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's freaking scary. Okay, number 7, the last one. What is your scariest nightmare? Well, now this one is for real. My scariest nightmare that I've ever had, I really have only had a couple of nightmares in my 22 years of living, but there is one reoccurring nightmare that I have often now. I have a nightmare where I am driving, and it's not myself, it's my 3, 4, 5-year-old, somewhere around their self. I was, you know, I'm really young, tiny. I'm driving a car down my street where I've lived, where my grandparents live. I'm driving down the street and the street stops and it's a cliff, and I keep driving, and then I go over the cliff, of course, and the next thing I know, I wake up on a stretcher at the hospital and they're rushing me in. And then it cuts to me looking at myself as I am now. You know, through the years, my age has progressed in the nightmare as well, just as I have in real life. That's the scariest part, is that the dream varies depending on where I'm at. Now, I'm looking at myself on the stretcher at the hospital, dying. And then I can see all of my family as well, just staring at me, you know, crying, bawling, all that stuff. And that scares me to death because not too many people know, but I actually don't drive. That is not why though. I have this eye condition called Keratoconus, which is basically, it's an eye disease, but it's very rare and nobody knows what causes it. And that's why I don't drive, and my vision is constantly changing. I have corrective lenses for it, which is a contact. It's a glass contact called glass permeables, which hurts so bad because it's literally glass in your eye. It's literally glass in your eye, and it fits just right over the pupil area. It really hurts, and I do not like to wear it, so I don't wear it, and that's why I don't drive. I mean, I couldn't drive even with the contact anyways. It's just a fun little fact. Alrighty, well, I really hope that you all enjoyed this slightly depressing and scary video. If you did, make sure that you give me a big thumbs up for this video. You know, I work really hard on my channel to give you guys videos weekly. Also, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to see another tag, or if there's a tag that I missed that you'd like me to try. Go ahead and send that through the comments. Also, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss another tag or any of my DIYs that I do throughout the week. And I will see you all next time. See ya.